Inauguration of Foundations of Modern Machine Learning, which is conceived, directed, and developed by the professors, lead professors at IIIT Hyderabad. And for this batch, we have around 466 students who have joined this course after qualifying at the online entrance examination that we had set up this year. Some of the students of the last batch are in premier positions now. Few of them, as I learned, are in research institutions, which means this course has started reaping success, and we are getting lots of positive inputs from the students as well. A few of the students' feedbacks, previous courses have been hosted in our course website, and I invite all of you to have a visit on their remarks. Professor Jawar, Professor Anup, and Professor Ravikiran, and many teaching assistants and senior students of IIIT has contributed immensely for developing this course outline. And it is largely out of the personal experience of teachers at IIIT, mostly Professor Jawar and Professor Anup, that this course has been developed, and it contains therefore insights which are not present in many of the other contemporary courses or online courses that you will see outside. So today's session is organized into two parts. The first part will be a short inauguration part, and after that we'll have the main class started by Professor Anup. So I'll just briefly introduce our chief guest for today. Professor Jawar, he doesn't need any introduction, is well known to us, but still he has some of his achievements are he has received the outstanding award last year for the best computing teacher by Association of Computing Machinery India, ACM India, which is a professional society for practicing computer science professionals in India. He has been with the IIIT since its beginning, and had been is currently the head of Center for Visual Information Technology there, CVIT, the center which produces a large number of students who go on to become leading experts in various domains across the world. Okay, so if you find some student or professor or researcher doing exceptionally well in computer vision domain or information or in machine learning or deep learning, there's a good amount of chance that he might have associated with Professor Jawar in some way or the other. Without much of a delay between you and Professor Jawar, I invite Professor Jawar to kindly speak, welcome the audience, and then speak a few words. Over to Professor Jawar.
Thank you, Professor Raju, for the kind words, and as usual, your flowery introduction. So he exaggerates almost everything. So take only a percentage of as truth what he speaks. Okay, so welcome. First of all, I was just going through the list of participants who had joined quickly in the Zoom chat, and then I realized at least from quickly what I could read the names, people are all distributed possibly from different part of the country, and maybe as Professor Raju mentioned, participants possibly are diverse in their background, in educational background, so this is quite interesting. So a class of that for learning is always interesting, and the class of that for teaching is always exciting, because you see different viewpoint which you don't usually see in a homogeneous classroom, and that is especially true in an online classroom when you see diverse participants. So thank you. So first of all, let me formally welcome all of you to this course. So why this course today? So we started looking at the machine learning education and what is the state today in India and what is really required. So one very important point came is machine learning is becoming a very essential topic in today's education for a large number of disciplines. Can you please mute? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it is becoming a very essential course for large number of disciplines in engineering. So it is not just a specialized, super specialized course in computer science or EC or IT or in some specific branches. It has become essential in all areas of engineering today. And not only that, so today I also see that this is being like a taught or practiced by people in other areas, surely in like a natural sciences, computing sciences, now possibly now touching still wider like areas in social science too. So which means that, okay, this is becoming so important, and what is the fundamental of that, or what are the fundamental aspects of such a subject? So this has been a thinking for a while, and there is so what I want to connect to what is happening parallelly in the country too. So if you look at in some of the institutions today, so where this course has become core course or a compulsory subject or a paper in the curriculum. I know there are many IITs, for example, now they are thinking of introducing a course related to this in the second year or third year of the undergraduate curriculum. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it. The new AICTE curriculum that is getting discussed or that is getting possibly going to get implemented soon may have a course like machine learning as a compulsory course in the computer science curriculum itself, and possibly as an elective in many other disciplines. So keeping this in mind, we thought we want to possibly have at least give an edge for a set of students who are studying today. So the next year or the coming year, students possibly may study part of it in their own respective colleges or curriculum, but possibly we need to give an edge for existing students too. And that is one reason why we thought that, okay, we want to have a course which is ahead of the curriculum changes that are going to take place in the coming years. So to align this, there is also another program that got started or called CSEDU, Computer Science Education Lexi. It's a nationwide program for teacher training program in engineering colleges in India. And there is a course on machine learning for training teachers of engineering colleges to be comfortable in teaching the modern machine learning as and when it gets introduced into the curriculum, because usually there is a lag. When AICTE or somebody proposes the curriculum, then it gets adopted in the respective universities or colleges, the respective board of studies or senate or appropriate forum to agree to that. So there's a lag usually, there's a further lag. So keeping that in mind, we also started a program in teaching and training teachers and equipping them in doing it. There has been also effort in creating resources. For example, when such students at large practicing and learning machine learning, there are teachers now get ready to teach it. There's also there's a further need in possibly creating resources for teaching. And there is a need of possibly connecting the graduates to the need of the society, the industry, the different sectors in industry, different use cases, NGOs, government departments, which are all looking today for machine learning expertise in some or other projects. So that is where that's the origin of this course. And Professor Raju has been leading this effort for the last 1 year plus. And we have a very good experience in the previous batches. And I'm looking for continuing that experience in the coming years too, where you all practice this, learn this, and then contribute back to the teaching programs in here or in elsewhere and in your own college. So when you teach machine learning, so how do you look at machine learning today? So there are different ways in which people teach. So this course is designed with the right balance between the theory and practice. It is not in a way a theory course which teach you all the equations and derivations and ask you to do some rigorous math or derivations. It is not going to do possibly like asking you to by heart certain points and answer multiple choice questions. It is also not aiming at you to make you a hacker who just know how to download some tools from somewhere or how to download some machine learning libraries somewhere and like use it in your project. So you need to understand the fundamentals when you use it. And that is very, very important if you want the right use of such technology. So it is somewhat like a different from many other programming or problem solving that you have learned in the past. So this requires the understanding of the fundamentals. Yeah, thank you. So this requires the fundamentals for the practice, for the right practice. So if you want to get, so another way to look at is if you want to get good solutions, good performances, good accuracies, good results, you need to know both theory and practice. And that is what this course is aiming at. So you will have lectures, you will have far more interactions with instructors. And hello, yeah, somebody's sharing the screen. Yeah, so you also have like in the practice that support the theory, and hopefully you can also do larger projects, and we can enable that in some or other forms as we move forward with our limited bandwidth and what we can do online. And we also look for many of you visiting the campus at some stage, and maybe in the form of visitors, interns, students in different form, and establishing this online connection to a much stronger connection. Thank you. So let me hand over the mic back to Professor Raju.
Thank you, Professor Jawar. So just to continue from where Professor Jawar left off, we had around 10 students from the previous FML courses doing their summer internship this May. So now let me just welcome Professor Anub to just offer felicitations for this course. Professor Anub heads the Biometrics and Secure Identity Lab in Center for Visual Information Technology, and he is also involved in developing this course along with Professor Jawar. He had been with this institute almost from the beginning, and some of his achievements are in the form of the number of students who registered to join his course, most popular course on statistical method in AI, which has set a kind of a record at IIIT Hyderabad. And some of these insights are also embedded inside this Foundations of Modern Machine Learning. So you are all benefited in some way or the other in getting to hear and see the same classes and same methods that Professor Anub adopts at CVIT at IIIT. Welcome, Professor Anub, and please offer a few words of advice to students.
Thank you, Professor Raju, for the kind words. Once again, as Professor Jawar said, he says nicer things than which we wish were true. Let's hope you enjoy the lectures and the course coming forward. Professor Jawar had said, given you the higher level picture, I don't want to spend too much more time in talking about the course. Just want to mention a couple of points for you to follow. That a course like this, any course for that matter, what an instructor can do is to tell you certain ideas or talk about a few concepts. And that never means that you will actually learn about it. The learning happens inside your brain. And if that has to happen, your involvement in the course has to be active. It cannot be a passive listening course where you just, listen to the lectures and you feel like you understand things. And later on, when you sit for an exam, or more importantly, when you are actually asked to develop a solution, you suddenly draw a blank. And this is very common, especially when we present it with slides and examples and pictures. Most of the people feel, yeah, now I understand this. But usually what happens is that the level of understanding is only at a superficial level. You need to dig deeper. And the in addition to the lecture content, the labs that we offer you, that forms a very important tool for you to break open those areas which you might not have understood. So when you try to do certain things, you will realize that, oh, I don't really understand what is going on here. Let me try to dig deeper. And then maybe you can go back and think about the course, the topics that were discussed, and discuss with your peer group. You have a lot of friends around you, and it's one of the most important form of learning is learning from your friends. And the labs and even other forums actually allow you to interact with your peers and try to learn from them. And that is extremely important. Of course, learning by doing is also an important component. So that is why we have the labs to trigger that. So always be active in the course. That is one important thing that I want you to follow, whether it is asking questions during the lectures. We encourage asking questions, preferably because it is a big course. If you unmute your mic and start speaking, that might be a little difficult. So because of that, we prefer if you ask questions in the chat while the lecture is going on. However, we will always break in between for questions. At that time, you can always ask questions directly by speaking over the mic. So if you raise your hands, we will call you out, and then you can ask your questions at that time. So let's also maintain some kind of decorum in the class so that the lectures can move on smoothly. Okay, so please take care of these things and try to be active in the course. That is the most important part. This is not a course where you just want to, as Professor Jawahar said, learn a bunch of concept and write an exam and have an entry in your resume saying that, oh, you took this course and got this grade. That is not the point. The point is that as you move forward, when you get into the industry, or whether you're going to get into research or academics, this area of modern machine learning is going to become extremely important. It's already very important, and it is only going to gain importance as we move forward. So it's important that you really understand it fundamentally and practically. So keep that as your goal, not as finishing a course and getting a grade. You will do well. Okay. So once again, I welcome all of you and looking forward to the courses, the classes coming ahead. Welcome.
Thank you, Professor Anup. Thank you, Professor Jawahar. And I thank all the guests who have joined for this inaugural session from outside, especially those who have joined at our invitation to the Raj Reddy Society Center for Technology and Society, the professors at Kite Institute of Engineering and Technology from Kakinada. I thank everyone who has joined this session and made it enriching. We'll start the session in another minute or so at 7:52. All the invited guests can now leave the session.